Here we go. And
Okay. Woo! Fun, fun, fun. So evening, everybody. Welcome to a very special edition of the Living Room Stage and Gallery brought to you by the IVCC Theater Department.
here we go.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We're having some technical issues tonight. So that was me making faces. Again, welcome to the IVCC Living Room Stage and Gallery brought to you by the Theater Department at IVCC. I'm going to do this first part really, really fast just because we have a amount of time. So, and I'm hearing myself. Okay, perfect. All right. So tonight it's all about the movies. It's all about Hollywood. So we're going to start right now with an interview. But first, let me tell you about what's coming up for us at IVCC. Of course, we're dying to get back in front of a live audience, and we're going to do just that in May. We've got Stepping Out, Broadway Under the Stars. We are literally stepping outside. It'll be at the Hegler Karras Mansion. It is May 14, 15, and 16, and the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. All shows at 7:30. A huge cast already assembled to bring you the best of Broadway. And watch this page, and we will be bringing you a whole lot more about it. All right. My guest tonight is Dr. Kimberly Radek-Hall, and she is the instructor of the art of the film at IVCC. So please welcome my guest for this night, all about the movies. Kim, come on in. Evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
I am okay. How are you?
I'm
Thank you for
okay.
having me.
I'm hearing myself about 15 seconds ago, so I'll try to ignore that. Um, Crummy day.
Very rainy.
All right. First of all, congratulations. I understand you won the Stephen Cherry Memorial Award for Teaching Excellence this year.
I did. Thank you very much. It's very fun to win.
I know David won it many years ago, but what an honor for you. I'm just so proud of you. And on top of that, you got your PhD fairly recently, right?
Yes, I finished it in 2016. So
Yes, I know. I live with one. Check my headphones here and see if that helps me. Oh, I'm still hearing me. That's okay. Oh boy, isn't it fun? How's teaching online going?
Teaching online is very challenging, especially in film, and having, the university or the college hacked, let's say, before we went that way is not easy either. So I give a big shout out to all the students who have kept up and been patient and put up with us and me especially.
I think everybody's risen to the challenge magnificently, and thank God, because we got no choice. And here we are all, fall, and for me, we just kind of stopped. But
yeah, I feel lucky that I'm teaching film and not theater. I can't imagine the challenges that way.
You know what? When we first did our first video show, the actors were like, "It's weird, and it's weird that the theater's empty, but thank God there's a creative outlet for something." So I'm glad to do that. Well, I'm excited about tonight. Tonight we premiere, and I should have told you this when we started. Tonight we premiere Hooray for Hollywood, the music of the movies. We've got a cast of 12. They're terrific, saluting a whole bunch of terrific films. And that's pretty self-explanatory. That starts at 8 o'clock. And at 7:30, we start a countdown with movie trivia. And also that link will be posted here. All these links will be posted. They're in two more pieces now that you're in here with us. And it'll all be on our YouTube channel. So if you're here for the premiere, you can comment. Also, if you have questions for Kim, comments about movies, please post them because I'll get them. Chad will let me know, and we'll pass them along. All right, let's talk about the movies, the old movies. Kim, what do you consider the classic era? Are you of the school that it's like 1930s to the early 60s?
I would say 30s to the end of the 50s, probably. Um, yeah, I am of that school.
I, I think with musicals in particular, people are really kind of think. I mean, the '60s brought us Sweet Charity, which yeah, I love the show, but I didn't care for the movie that much, and they started kind of falling apart. So
And
let's.
I certainly like a lot of musicals that happen after that, but the big musical stars for me are Gene Kelly, Rita Hayworth, Fred and Ginger, of course.
You had to choose Fred Astaire or Gene Kelly. Who's your favorite?
Probably Gene Kelly. For dancing, Fred Astaire, but for the whole package, I'd say Gene Kelly.
I like his voice even. It's very, yeah, very cool. So, what would you say non-musicals are your favorite films from that golden era?
Oh, probably Marilyn Monroe films. Comedies for sure.
I have several, and I realized when I was thinking about it, I like shows that are or movies that have strong women. I love Stage Door, and I do love with Katharine Hepburn. They were all
Mhm.
very young. Um, all About Eve, of course, way up there for me. And the women, the original women that were female directed, all women in the cast, huge cast. Um, and anything with Betty Davis and Joan Crawford, I'm a sucker for. But tonight's about the movie musicals. What movie musical can you watch time and time and time again?
Ooh, definitely Singing in the Rain, or The
Number
Sound
one
of
on my
Music, or The Sound of Music. Um, I have very good memories associated with each of those, so I could watch them thousands of times.
about old, like going before those, like anything from the 40s or so. You into any of those?
Um,
I don't want to put you on the spot.
yeah, I can't put my name on, can't put my tongue on the name, but
the Buzz, it's like the Busby Berkeley stuff. The spectacle is
yeah,
awesome. And
yeah, the Ziegfeld, the kick lines,
yeah,
yeah, I love them all.
Busby Berkeley stuff, I always kind of get a kick out of because back the standards of beauty have changed so much over the years. The Busby Berkeley girls were not the tall, slender Rockettes that we, are familiar with now. Plus, they weren't exactly precision most of the time, but I still those overhead shots and the camera work and stuff. Storylines were awful, but
Yeah,
movie killer, Dick Powell.
yeah,
Um,
sort of. There were interesting Esther Williams ones, right? Were those in the 40s?
those were 40s and 50s, yeah. Um, what'd you think of those water musicals? Did you like those?
I was fascinated when I was a kid, and I thought that takes a lot of talent to be able to do that in the water and when you're synchronized that way. I mean, and I can't imagine the difficulty of filming it and keeping your equipment dry. Um,
They're way ahead of their time. I think I saw something on That's Entertainment, one of the movies That's Entertainment, about the tank that they used to film her in like $1 Million Mermaid and stuff. They had um, it was very advanced for its time, very SeaWorld, I guess, with windows in the tank to film through. The photography that astounds me, the underwater, it's not a musical, but Creature from the Black Lagoon. I just, what a beautiful movie. You know? um, so with the classics, everybody, anybody that is big into movies and film, and especially the like the different styles, the different structures, they always point to Citizen Kane as like the hallmark of style. What do you? I find Citizen Kane. I can watch it about once every 2 years, but I find it tedious. What's your opinion on Kane?
Um, I think it was really remarkable in its time, and I think that its message is a good one. But I do think that probably if it were filmed today, it would not be as long. Um, I think editing has progressed. Now, sometimes on modern films, I find the editing too fast. I would like to enjoy a scene and not have lots of fast cuts, but um, I don't want to feel like I'm watching a commercial. I want to watch a movie. But
Uh, I'm gonna get crucified by the people that love Baz Luhrmann, but when I saw Moulin Rouge in the theater when that first came out, I was really excited, and I felt like maybe it's the choreographer in me, I don't know, but the fast cuts, I wanted to see at least one combination dance to completion without a 3-second cut and a 2-second cut. I really don't care for that style. I agree completely.
well, I'm always suspicious that if you're cutting in a dance move like that the people can't really dance.
I
You know,
know.
I can do five measures at a time, and then you have to cut. you know.
Unlike unlike people like Gene Kelly, that was pretty much a taskmaster, and a lot of those dances, if you watch Fred and Ginger and stuff, they filmed those beginning to end in one take, but not one take, but take after take after take.
hmm hmm Yeah, the stamina and the athleticism that they have. I mean, you don't see that matched except on Broadway and in live theater, because even these dance shows, it's like 3 minutes and that's it.
You know, they do say that dancers are the best athletes on the planet because they work every muscle, and like football players and basketball players take ballet classes a lot of times to develop their coordination and their agility. So it's like we always knew that the dancing was was our. Um, Chad, we got any questions coming up here? Let's see. Okay. No. Okay. Um, One of my favorites is Bandwagon. Do you like Bandwagon with Nanette Fabre and oh, isn't Fred in that one? Just watched it the other night. I get a huge kick out of Bandwagon. Okay, I'm being told my volume is dropping out. So war out.
I
Is
was
this better?
having a hard time hearing you for a little bit, but then it came back.
All right. Is this better, Chad? I know my headphones got. Yes, okay. My headphones got messed up right before we went on. Excuse me. I love the Technicolor stuff, and Bandwagon embodies that. And of course, the Judy Garland stuff. I read something really interesting about Meet Me in St. Louis like 3 days ago. Did you know that's based on a true story written by the uh, woman who was Trudy? Was that the mischievous kid's name? In Meet Me in
Wow.
St. I had no idea, and the house existed until not that long ago. So I didn't know that was a true story. Right
Wow.
down to the boy next door.
I
I
knew I
thought,
knew Judy Garland didn't want to do it.
right?
Which seems insane.
Oh, poor thing. I mean, the where was the one she was replaced? Oh, Annie, Get Your Gun. She
Oh,
was,
I love that one. Yeah.
yeah. And I've seen the outtakes, but in her heyday, man, and I don't think anybody gave her the credit she deserved for the dancer that she was, because she danced with Gene Kelly in The Pirate, Fred Astaire in a Easter Parade. She could hold
Mhm.
her own, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I
what do you
think
think of today's musicals?
um I like them. I like them a lot, except the most recent film version of Cats. I'm not a big fan of.
Might have trouble finding somebody who is. That was
um yeah, like I'm just so impressed when people can act and sing and dance. And I was going to ask you what you consider a musical. Like, do you have to have singing and dancing moving the story? Or if you have characters who sing, is that enough to make it a
good
musical?
question. That's a really good question. I consider a musical uh, a, a show that advances the story through the songs. You'll find a lot of different types of people are like, I don't like musicals. It's not realistic that people burst out singing here and there. Um, I understand that, but uh, I really good question. Like, I love the stage to screen adaptations that they have been doing. I feel like this all kind of kicked in the gears of new musicals with Chicago, which I thought was brilliantly done. Just a great musical. And I love the show within a show constructure, which is probably why I like backstage musicals of the old ones. But yeah, I'd have to say, even if it's written for the screen, um, La La Land, I was not a fan of that because the music was there. It didn't really enhance anything. So yeah, I guess that's what I consider a musical.
Yeah, I was not crazy about the ending of La La Land either. Like if I'm gonna usually watch a musical, it's either got to be really tragic or really kind of happy and not in the middle, I guess. That could be
This
more my expectations as the viewer ruining the movie.
I have a very unpopular opinion about Les Mis, which is I thought the movie was pretty lousy. I really did. I thought it was way too long, and it's like too many close-ups, and I just remember doing this through the whole thing, like how much more, you know.
Well, if you've seen it on stage, then it's very hard not to have that comparison. And when I saw Les Mis on stage, like some of the lighting effects were so brilliant that and you can't really capture that if you're doing a realistic like musical. And so I can totally see that.
Wicked. They have been talking about Wicked, the movie, for I want to say 5 years, and it looks like it just now got the green light, but no stars are announced. I'm I'm worried about that one. I always Here's the thing. I thought in Chicago, who played Roxy. Um, oh, I'm drawing a blank. Big box office name. She learned to dance and learned to sing for it so they could use, the box office draw. Catherine Zeta-Jones
Yeah.
already was, Broadway credits. I saw her do 42nd Street 100 years ago.
Wow.
I Yeah, I know. That's how old I am. Uh, but Renee Zellweger, that's it. I kind of hate when they take somebody who's not really a musical performer. I feel like that could possibly go to somebody who actually is. You know? It's like Joel Gray did the MC on stage and then in the movie for Cabaret.
I
Perfect.
love I love that. Yeah. One of my favorites.
Dark, dark. David
Very
likes that
dark.
one.
And I like it. I
Like
was gonna
Wicked.
say Moulin Rouge, I think the reason I liked it, but I didn't maybe love it right away. Um, Partly uh, is because I saw Camille, and you can't compete with that level of tragedy in color.
So I know in the theater department, I have students who, uh, I mean, let's face it, they're so young, aren't they? I'll mention somebody like Ethel Merman and the dyed in the wool theater kids are like, oh yeah, Annie Get Your Gun on Broadway and Call Me Madam and Gypsy and blah blah blah. Um, I what are your when you're I know you teach about film, so how far back do you go, and what's the most shocking name you've thrown out that you've grown up with or been around that a student went, who the hell is that?
Oh, well, how far back do I go? I go back. The course is a survey course, so um, I go back to the beginning and I start with the D.W. Griffith. I mean, well, first we start with some of the shorts from Edison, etc. Lumiere Brothers, Trip to the Moon, um, by Méliès, etc. That's how we dive in. I I like Way Down East by D.W. Griffith. I used to show the whole thing. I don't do that anymore because modern audiences, they're why isn't this cut? Why isn't this cut? Why isn't it forwarding the plot already? Um, who have I mentioned that they haven't known? I don't know. Like every once in a while, I'll say something about the Brady Bunch, and the students don't know what I'm talking about. It used to be I would say the Brady Bunch, and I knew I was old when they said, "Oh, the movie." But they don't even say that anymore. so,
I know.
so
I know David had a wake up call, Dr. Keister, and he teaches the history of theater. And one of the filmed version of the stage musical that he shows is Legally Blonde, the musical, which to me, I just saw that, on the stage. And he had somebody say, oh, those, I didn't know that they did such great movies or such great Broadway shows in the olden days. And it's like, oh, okay.
yeah, the 1990s are the olden days, for sure, with a lot of the students, not all, but um, and and to me, those are like the new films.
I know. Me too. I
One of
I
the newer musicals I like is Dr. Horrible's Sing Along Blog. Do you know that? Because I would love to see you guys do that on stage.
don't know if that is a stage show yet.
It isn't
Yeah, if it's
that I
not,
know of.
it's like you just wait a minute and uh, the my God, they made Pretty Woman, King Kong, Rocky into musicals on Broadway. Some work, some don't. But
Right.
I think it's interesting when uh, something is written expressly for film and it goes to the stage afterwards. Like Thoroughly Modern Millie, that was not written as a stage show, that was a movie, um, and then adapted for the stage. Sing in the Rain, a lot of State Fair, even,
Mhm.
which was Rodgers and Hammerstein's first. Well, I host the show later. I think I recorded something like that. I don't. um, I think one of the more surprising ones to me is Elizabeth Taylor, who I find iconic, along with Marilyn and stuff like that. And talking about Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, and Marilyn, or not Marilyn, I'm sorry, Elizabeth Taylor, and everybody's like, Who, who's that?
Ooh.
Incredible. Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
watching National Velvet and thinking, I'm gonna own a horse someday.
And that's what movies do. They inspire us.
They do. They do. I mean,
Yeah.
I think about just even, let's say, early science fiction on the screen and how much that really did work to get scientists thinking about how would you go to the moon.
I'm so old that I remember, I'm 65. When I was a little kid, um, the Peru Theater had the premiere of Sound of Music. And I went with my parents, and you dressed up, and I know you had to make reservations, and there were souvenir programs, which I wish I would have kept. Um, Years later, Funny Girl, same thing, big premiere. If you're from the area and you remember those premieres and you're ancient like me, drop a comment on Facebook.
I
Yeah,
remember in the old days too, like, we didn't have VHSs, we didn't have streaming, we didn't have recorders. So if there was something going to be on TV, it was a production. And,
either. Yeah,
once a year, Sound of Music would be on, and you had to sit there and you had to pop your popcorn and, and then you could complain about what they cut
yeah,
from
yeah.
year to year to year.
And you had to time your bathroom breaks. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, I'll go now. I don't know. For me, it was Wizard of Oz. I've always been fascinated with that movie and grew up with it. And that's one I can watch over and over and over. And even if it's on network TV and I'm flipping channels, yeah, I'll put this on. It
It's very beautiful. I love that film too.
really is. It really is. Well, I see we're ticking the time off so quickly here. Um, we're at the end here, aren't we, Chad? Because our countdown's going to begin. Kim, it was so much fun to talk with you. Will you come back on Living Room Stage and we'll delve a little more where we don't have to rush and stuff, and bring on a couple other people who are film buffs? That would be great. Before we sign off, I want to remind you that uh, now you're going to go back to our Facebook page, and there will be a link for the countdown show. And at the end of that countdown show, there will be a link for Hooray for Hollywood. So the pre-show and the trivia, 7:30, Facebook, and it'll take you to our YouTube page. And then come back, they're not linked together, sorry, at 8 o'clock. Um, and the link will be posted right here on IVCC Fine Arts to take you to Hooray for Hollywood. Very proud of this. The cast of 12 worked very hard, and it's weird doing everything on a green screen with a no audience, but I hope you enjoy the result tonight as we salute the movies. Kim, again, congratulations on the Stephen Chari Award and your PhD and everything else, and I look forward to having you back again. All right.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
All right, everyone. Time to tune in to our countdown pre-show for Hooray for Hollywood. Don't forget, in May, we're going live with Stepping Out, Broadway Under the Stars, and watch right here on Facebook, and we'll tell you all about it. Thank you so much. Enjoy the countdown and really enjoy Hooray for Hollywood. Good night.